Welcome back to Keeping Tabs. Eat, drink, play. We're on this week's episode of Keeping Tabs. We're back with
Logan,
Jason,
and Austin.
We all went to Mortal Kombat this weekend, hosted by Dave & Buster's, Critical EDH, and Enchanted Grounds. What are your guys' thoughts this weekend?
It was really fun, but I think we're gonna talk a little bit about a few other things before we really dive into that, because that's gonna take about like a lot of our time here.
Oh, yeah. It was so fun though.
I had a blast. I had an actual blast.
Dom said that he lost like 7 pounds
from the heat.
Yeah.
Well, I'm over here wearing this still.
The Adidas hoodie couldn't come off. Dude.
My other friend Sam was like, I only wore a hoodie and nothing else. And
oh no.
And I was like, yeah, that was definitely on you. That's a mistake.
You know, Jonah from MTG Basics was like, I thought about stripping naked.
Yeah, well, that is one way you could handle it. Speaking of handling the heat, we got this comment that I thought was pretty interesting.
Hilarious.
No, it's so funny. So the comment reads from Hierophant PM. Just wanted Eric to know there's a group of bears in southern Florida.
No, San Francisco.
San Francisco thirsting after him.
I mean, southern Florida is probably equally gay, but yeah.
Heart eyes emote. Happy Pride. Rainbow emote.
Where was this comment at? Just like on one.
This is just on one of the videos. And this comment below.
The last Keeping Tabs.
Yeah.
I just got the comment and I just laughed so freaking hard.
Yeah, dude. Happy Pride, man.
Eric is definitely serving a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, we do want to thank our sponsors. We have a couple today. So Pool Priority. This is an event going on in Nashville Highway, which is in Columbia, Tennessee. That's kind of an interesting road.
Yeah.
But Columbia, Tennessee, not Nashville. And this is on July 12th. It looks like they have some pretty awesome prizing.
Dude, Judge Foil Cradle. That's hot.
I've accepted that I'm not getting a Judge Foil Cradle unless I win one.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
that's
fine with that.
the only way I'm getting it.
Hey, that's honestly a great story.
Yeah.
Though.
I think people should start doing Judge Foil wheels.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
But 2nd through 4th gets a revised Volcanic, and the rest is store credit. But I mean, it seems pretty good for a top 4.
Yeah.
But this is shaping up to be a good event, and it's only $50 entry.
It's also a Top Deck Gold sponsored event, so if you need points, sign up.
Time is running out.
Time is running out.
July 20th is the last of like the cutoff date, I think. So this is July 12th. So right before then, check out that event. Mm-hmm. And then next, we have the Sinkhole in New Jersey.
Also a Top Deck Gold event.
Yep. And this is on July 20th. So I think it is the last event that you can go to.
Go, go, go.
Oh, yeah.
Eric, also, we got to send you over there.
What a great name for a New Jersey event.
Do you know anything about New Jersey?
I'm pretty sure like they actually are riddled with sinkholes.
Yeah, they have terrible roads, dude. I'm from the Northeast. Like, I'm from Pennsylvania, and the roads are awful.
I don't want to like just, crap all over New Jersey, but that's such a good like on-brand event. Like,
it's very funny.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. So this is sponsored by the New Jersey cEDH Discord server. It seems like they have a really good group of guys out there. We actually interviewed DJ Lynx at Fishbowl. Really, really energetic.
Dude, that was such a high energy conversation. Such a crazy interview. Check that out.
And he was very like super animated during his games too. I was sitting there watching. It was awesome. But those guys represent New Jersey cEDH really well. Looks like they're growing a really good scene out there. And then pricing looks really good, as well. I mean, it's about $2,200 based on 64 players. That's pretty solid.
That's good.
Good.
So check out this event. Both of these events will be linked in the description. And then speaking of events and things going on, we have our June League.
Yeah.
And we're in like full swing for this month. We have about a week.
We get the whole month this time.
Yeah. Well, that's my doing. I did that. I set the dates for it.
Let's go.
But we have 103 signed up, and so far we've had 84 of those 103 that have actually played a game.
Okay.
That's so cool.
I think I've only gotten 2 in, but I plan on, now that we're post Mortal Kombat, I'm planning on getting some more games in.
I think we have a little bit more
We
time.
have just a
Me
little bit more
too.
time to actually play some
Yeah.
league games.
But the league's going well. We're doing 4% of points instead of 7. So certain people
Oh,
can't run away with it as much.
That's why I'm not getting anything for playing.
Well, you gotta work a little harder for this one, Jason.
Ugh, okay.
But as you can see, Jason's in first.
But I do
still.
want to mention something about this, like this graphic right here, this is like maybe a negative with the Japanese point system, right? Like Not Fantasia has a better win percentage and opponent win percentage, but has less points than Jason, right? So like it's really interesting to like see these dynamics happen in this point system.
I think it matters too at what point you're winning in the season, right? Or in the league. So like as you get later, your opponent's win percentages go up and down, and then also a lot of those things affect. So like I wonder if there's more of a benefit to playing and winning games early on in the season, or maybe later on in the season.
Right.
Oh, it's 100% at the beginning. Where
Because everyone has all their points.
Well,
before all the draws take the points, dude.
The massacre of points.
one thing we're trying to get Top Deck to do is implement some sort of decay system for points, so that if you stall out and you don't play games for, let's say, 5 days or 7 days or something, you start to like lose a percentage of your points every interval or something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know if there's a system we can put them back in the pool, or if there's just a way that like just get burned or something like that. But the idea is to try to keep people active. People like Jason who like to play 10 games and then go, all right, guys, I'm good. I'll see you later.
Catch me if you can.
No. I think the one good thing about Jason though is he's such a degenerate that he'll just like play games anyway.
Yep.
Like it doesn't matter.
Dude, I
But-
love jamming games.
It's been fun.
Also, our May final is on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday. So
God, you guys are slackers.
If you
It's
see
in the
it-
middle of June.
Honestly, we need to implement a hard rule where it's week 1 of the next week
it
has to be top 13, and then the next week is top 4.
yeah.
Look, nobody's getting prizes until it's done. I don't care. You guys can finish it whenever you want.
Oh,
You know.
okay, we'll finish it next year then.
But we do want to say thank you to everyone who signed up. I think it's been overall a really, really good experience for most people. We have a lot of killers in the league too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that this has been a good experience of collecting people that are both new and also experienced people, and kind of mixing them together. So
For sure. I think we've gotten this comment last month where it was like, it's almost like an introduction to tournament cEDH almost, where like you're playing against harder level opponents and easier level opponents.
I've noticed that other leagues have gotten a little quiet since we started doing league games.
Gas.
But and not to say that we're like stealing or poaching players, but I think there's we have something positive going on here. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
we definitely hope to continue it. That's enough about our league. And then one last tournament we want to talk about. This was announced at Mortal Kombat. Wayne of Landgo, infamy or notoriety. He's the owner of Landgo. They hosted the Landgo Open and Invitational in Nashville a couple weeks ago. And they're already working on their next greatest and biggest event.
Oh yeah.
This thing is fucking huge. Like, I'm not even gonna hold myself back. Like, this thing, I think it's like
Bro,
400.
Open up the top deck.
It's like 420 player.
Dude.
Hat
It's gonna be huge, man.
Okay, no. 400,
Possible 8 rounds of Swiss.
424.
Oh, okay.
He didn't-
missed opportunity.
He didn't
there.
do the meme number. Like, I'll have to talk to him about that. But if they hit the player cap, it's going to be a 20K prize pool.
yeah.
If you get
8
first,
rounds
it's almost $7,000.
Dude.
If you get top 4, it's like $2,000.
Dude, maybe
It's
I
so
gotta win
cool.
for student loans.
Is this like a viable thing? Like actually paying your
To be a tournament grinder
yeah.
for a living.
Jeez, I don't know. It's close. But this is shaping up to be really, really awesome. This is October 4th, 2025. This is
It's at the Charlie's Collectibles show. That's where last year, like, Ian got his time twister and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So is there another event going on there? What is it? Is that a store? What is it?
I'm not sure if it's a store, if it's a venue, but I imagine it's definitely a venue considering it's 424 player cap.
Yeah.
And they counted like 600 something people at the open and invitational, the Landgo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And just like being there with that many people, it was so awesome. Like you could feel the energy in the air. There's definitely something positive happening and going on there.
It's just like a convention, right? Like
it was a convention.
All of your friends,
but it's a convention for cEDH.
Yeah.
It's not a convention for Magic. It's not a convention for Comic-Con or whatever. It's like it's just cEDH. And it was really cool to see that.
So a bunch of degenerates flying out to play games.
This is going to be a really, really good way to kick off the next season. I don't know if it's going to be a top deck season or if it's going to be a circuit or what it's going to be, but this is after the season. So keep this in your back pocket and keep an eye out for it.
It's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Stone Mountain.
Huh?
Stone Mountain. Is that outside of Atlanta?
It says Atlanta, Georgia.
Right here. Stone Mountain.
Oh. Okay.
It's probably like we're in Littleton, and it's like outside of Denver.
It's like 20 minutes away. Gotcha.
It's probably something like that.
Don't dox us.
Oh. Okay. So our comment for this week, forgive us, it is very tiny because there's a lot of words. That's a good card commented on our last Keeping Tabs. And they said, I'm pretty sure this was Kyle, but whether it's Kyle or Ya, he said, MTR 2.11 says you do not have to reveal notes to anyone at the table. Only judges if they request to see your notes. So you're good to go unless there's another rule that I'm not privy to. Is that true?
So I read, and you'll see my explanation later. I read the full MTR, and I've had multiple judges tell me that you do need to have your opponents be able to read your notes. However, you do not need to explain it to them. So, for example, I've had Tyler, the Arkham player local, write literally spaghetti on his fucking notepad and not explain it to anyone. And we're like, oh, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I've heard like a rumor that there's someone that has like learned Elvish and takes notes in Elvish. And you're just like, oh, yeah, I mean, okay, that sounds great.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I think I should just start taking notes and like, I noticed that, for example, when we were playing at level 7 this Saturday, I was in a game with Shauna and she was like furiously taking notes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, that's really cool. And I just like don't have the. I don't feel like it's quite necessary for me. Not to say that I'm like better than her or anything like that, because I'm absolutely not. But I just like don't know if it's like my style.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I guess, do you guys take notes in events, like at all?
No, it all goes up here.
Yeah. He's a machine. He's actually.
At least I have something to blame, like when I forget, right? Like if I take a note, I'm like, well, I didn't write it down, or if I wrote something down wrong, then I'm like, oh, I'm stupid. But if I
start taking them more,
it's good for retention. That's for sure.
I need to as well,
like, especially if I'm playing like opposition agent in my deck. Like I feel like I should have.
Oh, I definitely.
That's something like that, right? I was
playing Oppo.
Or like a Git probe or something along those lines that like you actually get the revealed information. But you were talking about Shauna, like even I was playing a top 16 game against her, and she was doing hash marks for my Ristic draws. And I was like, dang. So she was like tracking my advantage comparatively to the rest of the table.
Gonna make sure you're not drawing extra.
Yeah.
Who would do that?
No one at all.
Yep.
No, but I mean, like even like that type of notes is like really interesting to me.
I feel like notes like that lead me down a road in politicking that I don't want to take.
Look, the clipboard says you drew 30 cards. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, sure.
But it's like a good note to like be able to glance at, being like, okay, like who is the actual threat at this
It's a good note for yourself. Right? I'm not saying that I would use it politically, but like it might be worth noting to go, okay, when you start making certain decisions, you can use that to sort of remind yourself of where.
Like, especially back when the stacks meta was huge, I'd write down all the stacks pieces in play just to make sure I don't forget that I'm casting an Underworld Breach straight into a Drenith Magistrate.
I mean, how many times have I like tutored into an opposition agent when I was learning this format?
Yeah,
like so many times.
Speaking of which, speaking of which, I'm pretty sure that we drew that game with Shauna because there was an oppo, and the player to the right of Shauna and to my left said, yes, I have perfect enough mana for my line, and then went and fetched directly into the oppo, and we're like, oh, okay, like, but it is interesting. I think there's little downside to taking notes aside from it might detract your attention away from like what's going on. I'm a very emotional player, so I like to sort of, it sounds weird when I say it, like I like connect or try to empathize with like what people are displaying emotionally, and that helps me figure out where they're at in the game more than like, oh, I know that they tutored for this card and then I just write it down and
Right.
because like I don't know, maybe that's just not my style.
Yeah, I do think that it's something that I do want to try to do more of, though, like to get as a better player.
All right, I'll try it.
Yeah,
we'll see how it
same.
goes. Did you want to talk about anything else in the replies to this comment?
I mean, we could just read them out, right?
I don't know. There's a lot of text here, bro.
Eric says, that's a good comment. Emily says, I've been saying for weeks now that I just need to sit down and read the rules from start to finish. I reply, however, they have to be visible to the table. I usually use a coded message or roundabout way to remember a card. Eric will know that he will blend his entire hand because I wrote his entire hand backwards in shorthand.
Oh yeah, didn't you write TBM or something for MBT?
Yeah. He just started writing the rest of his hand on my clipboard. I was like, that's hilarious. That's so funny.
Well, I think it is something we can all do as players. Not just taking notes, but also learning the rules. And like we play the game and we vaguely know the rules.
That is something that judges will point out is that signing up for an event, they will automatically assume you have read the rules in advance, regardless of if you have or have not.
Yep. Because it's like you're driving down the road, you're going 80 and a 60 and you get pulled over and you go, well, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Like you have your driver's license.
Yeah.
Like they expect you
accountable for it, right?
Right. So,
or you're signing up for like a new thing and there's a terms of service that you glanced over.
Oh yeah. You hit the check mark.
This
I
is how a certain
agree.
movie got made right here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So anyway, I think we could all stand to read the rules a little bit. So,
Oh yeah.
whoa, this is formatted very poorly. Hold on.
I love Reddit.
Oh yeah.
I love reading what Redditors write. I don't know that I
Yeah.
True.
It is highly entertaining.
it's entertaining, but not in a way that like stimulates my brain. I feel like I'm watching like TikTok brain rot.
I
Yeah.
agree with you.
You can just like stand outside watching a dumpster fire a little bit sometimes.
So Mox Oval, that's a new one.
Yep. Dude, it's a new Mox, unreleased Final Fantasy special edition.
Mox Diamond and Mox Opal, are they overplayed? I think that there's a good conversation to be had about at what point you start to include Mox Opal. I personally think Mox Diamond is uncuttable regardless of how many lands you're running.
Yeah, especially as the format speeds up, you need to stay with that.
Yeah,
speed.
absolutely. I think Mox Diamond is uncuttable.
I mean, Rawl even runs Mox Diamond, right?
Yeah.
Even
I know
at like
certain
18 or
decks-
19 lands.
I know certain decks are cutting gemstone caverns because they're like,
Are you playing those certain decks, Austin? Because I noticed a distinct difference between our lists with Wandering Minstrel.
yeah, that's true. I don't have that in the list.
Interesting.
Right now, but I do. It needs to go in for sure.
Okay.
I kind of threw that deck together pretty quick and haven't tested it very much.
It's
but
fun though.
It is
it's
fun.
It's
a very fun deck.
But you're not running fucking Gemstone. Why?
It's gonna go back in. Like it needs to go in for sure.
Okay, but what was the thought? What was the thought process?
According to the MTG Basics podcast, Gemstone Caverns lowers your win rate. Actually,
Were those stats taken from streamed games or recorded games, or were they taken from tournament games?
I'm not gonna comment on that one for my point.
It is.
I think the idea with the gemstone thing is that like if you're on especially like a high color combination deck, then drawing it late feels really, really bad.
But then it pitches to Mox Diamond, right?
Yeah, that's also true. Or just is discarded for your breach,
or
right?
you just play any other land you have drawn.
Yeah.
I think it's the argument with Starting Town too, right? Like by the time Starting Town starts to matter, like you probably have another land in your hand.
Yeah, as you should, right?
Yeah.
But I do think realistically, Mox Diamond is uncuttable for sure. Mox Opal, I think there's a discussion to be had.
I mean, I think the cutoff for me is Opal. Like, I start to think about it at like 14 artifacts, like 13 artifacts.
I think Opal is a great piece in Nas or like non-green centric decks, but when you move closer towards a green base strategy, you are less reliant on your artifacts and more reliant on your dorks. So you don't need a Mox Opal in your
Like
deck.
TNT doesn't necessarily need Opal.
Like TNT, you're not playing Nas and you have your green mana base. You're all set there.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you play an Opal in a green type Nas deck?
100%. Like you're gonna hit it off your Nas. If not, like whatever, right? You'll just find more rocks anyways.
Right.
Like,
right.
But
you need
like-
a high density of rocks for your Nas to work.
Right.
In the new Jeskai deck that I've been running, I think I'm running like 14 artifacts, but I am running Opal because I'm also on Esper Sentinel, I'm also on Tithe, and I'm also on Displacer Kitten. So like it has its other uses besides just being a naked mana rock. Like
I have
it's
a
pretty
question
solid
for you.
Yeah.
Do you count Lotho as an artifact in your artifact count for Opal?
I've never seen Lotho not generate treasures.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I mean,
It's
Lotho's
so good.
like criminally
I
underrated
love Lotho.
Yeah.
My go.
My Lotho was murdered.
Too
by
bad
this man.
I honestly think that Wizards, there's someone at Wizards going, wow, this card seems really powerful. We need to make it die to Bowmasters. Like,
It's not a bad choice.
Dude, let me tell you, if it was a 1-3, that'd be so cracked.
It'd
It'd be
so
so
busted.
cracked.
It would
Right.
be so busted.
but like Mastermind dies to Bowmasters.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
for sure.
Bowmaster, that's the Bowmaster.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, do you like count it as an artifact in your artifact count for considering Opal?
I think things like that are worth considering for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But
I think it's along the same lines of counting Tithe as your as an artifact, right? It'll definitely make an artifact later, just not immediately.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yep. And then sometimes drawing that extra Opal. There's a double-edged sword there. If you have a Tithe and or a Lotho, if you draw an Opal, you're like, this fucking doesn't do anything because I have so much mana. It doesn't matter. I
don't
literally
have that
have
problem.
omniscience. Like this could
It
be
makes
any other
permanent
card.
mana.
On the other hand, sometimes you need that one extra mana just to get you there.
Oh,
Or you need like a grinding station like piece or something like that. You know, there's who knows, but
Or it triggers Lotho too.
true.
That's the high
Also
roll
gas,
right
yeah.
Doubles
that's
doubles
high
up,
roll
right?
right
That is
there.
gas.
Was there anything worthwhile in this that we wanted to point out?
I think they genuinely have good points on when to run Mox Diamond, when not to run Mox Diamond, and same with Opal. I do think Mox Diamond is a little uncuttable, so I won't really agree with their when to cut section.
I think that a lot of their point was for decks like Eureka that are running a ton of MDFCs.
Yeah.
And like at that point, like maybe it is cuttable just because you are running on like very few actual land cards. But even then, it's still
You're still revealing
It's
so
still-
much of your deck that you will find extra lands that you can pitch. So I don't think that's like a very valid
yeah.
argument.
I see like the line of logic that they're going for, but I don't necessarily agree with it.
I know the temptation is very high to turn to Austin, but no one can hear you if you do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can point at him like this.
Okay.
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 Anyway, yeah, I think it's a good point. Like, I don't see a world in which I'm ready to cut Mox Diamond for anything.
Yeah.
No.
Unless I'm running even like, no. Okay, like maybe Oops All Spells Essica doesn't run it, right?
I mean, even then, like you still like
Well, no, you can't play it.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't pitch it.
right, yeah. Like, okay, that's like the edge case.
yeah.
I think like maybe lower color stacks decks don't play Mox Diamond, right? Because they're playing Oof and stuff.
But you gotta
I
get
feel like
get
need
Oof
to
onto the
get your
field
Oof on
turn one.
right? Like, yeah.
Even those decks were running Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt back in the day, right? Even the Oof decks, and they're just like taking 3 damage every turn. But you know,
Yeah. I mean, realistically, when I'm like building a deck, it is one of the first includes. Like it's
we will link our list of staples. We have a couple different packages in which I have lands, other lands that are like utility lands, and I have like mana rocks and stuff. And like when you click on the mana rocks thing, it's like Vault, Opal, Mox Diamond, Lotus Petal, Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, Felwar Stone. Like you can take Felwar Stone out if you want to, but like all those things. And I'm like, I just start with them in the deck. If I need to cut one, then I cut one. But it's Mox Diamond's not one of those.
Right.
Every single cEDH deck I play runs Mox Diamond.
I also have a really nice Italian signed one, so it's never coming out.
My Mox Diamond's foil, so it's
I don't own a real Mox Diamond yet. I want to.
Yeah, you should.
I want the from the vault one.
Yeah, the one I have.
Okay.
I just love mud artifacts. Dude. Mud artifacts are the best.
Nice.
I love them.
You call mud artifacts?
Yeah, that's what they used to be called, like back in the day. Like all the brown border.
Yeah, sure.
Mud.
Oh, nice.
My friend will call them brown artifacts.
Okay. Speaking of interesting cards, Stockup. That's a good card. They did an episode on Stockup this Monday. Ooh, not important. And
Nice.
And Stockup is a really, really powerful card that probably should not see play in most cEDH decks.
I agree, 100%.
I think this is like the 60 card syndrome, where it's like you can run 4 ofs and it's really good because you're extremely likely to find another 4 of what you need to find.
Yes.
But in cEDH with a singleton format, this is similar to like Ponder, Brainstorm, effects like that, where it's like more like cantrippy, where in 60 card formats, these are like kings of the formats, but here they're just okay.
If this card were any other color, I think it would be an auto include in those colors.
No, give it instant, dude.
Okay, maybe that.
There's no way this card gets instant. Not for a while.
Dude,
not for
please, maybe next year.
This is like the spiritual successor of divination, right?
But think about this: if this card were red, and like you're running a non-blue deck that's running red, you're fucking running this card. This card's nuts.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. What if the cards didn't go on the bottom of your library, but they went into your graveyard? Do you play
we already had that with like Malevolent Rumble a little bit.
Well, but Rumble gets one specific type of card. This gets 2.
I think it would see play more.
Yeah, because it can.
But blue cards a blue card putting cards in your graveyard wouldn't exist.
I don't know.
That's not true. Blue does a lot of like surveil stuff.
You can cast Ristic Study for this.
So you're saying it's surveil 5, put 2 on the top of your library, but then draw those 2 cards.
That would be incredibly overpowered.
Oh my god!
But I'm saying like.
I mean that's essentially what it would read, though, right?
Yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, that stupidly broken.
No, it could have this exact same text except. And the rest go into your graveyard.
I understand, but it would essentially say surveil 5, put 2 of those cards into your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too good. There's no way that card
I'll put this
printed.
Reanimate in my hand and this Hullbreaker Horror in my graveyard.
Yeah, the card as it reads is look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them in your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. It feels powerful when you play it, and no one's going to counter it because it's just not worth countering.
The other
but when you're playing it, like if you put it in farm and you played it, you're like, damn, this card's actually kind of sick because because the rest of your deck is gas, right? And also like you're like, oh, I don't need these 3 lands on the top of my library, they go away.
Sure.
And then you're like, oh, I just get 2 cards that are good. And that feels really powerful when you play it, but that's not a reason to play the card.
No. I think the other problem is that it's definitely overshadowed by Ristic Study and effects at this exact mana cost.
This is, I think, the problem that we have with Malcolm in the command zone. Because while he's a good way to generate mana and like kind of like
it's a very powerful effect and very synergistic because you can.
You're talking about Malcolm?
Yeah.
But the problem is that if you're playing Malcolm Timna, you have 2-3 mana things in the command zone that are fighting for a spot with Ristic Study.
Right.
For sure.
So like I see the same thing with Stockup. It's kind of like, well, wouldn't I just rather tutor for Ristic, and then that means you're not
copy enchantment or something along.
And then that means you're not tutoring for Stockup, which means you probably shouldn't run it.
Right.
If you just come across it, it's like fine, but then it gets pitched to Force of Will, and like then you're.
Do you play this in Krark?
Yes. Yeah. So to Jason's point of where this is powerful in a 4 of format, like a 60 card format, Krark kind of turns it into that, because if you can high roll this, you tutor 6 cards into your out of like the top 15 into your hand. and then you go, well, gee willikers, I think I can assemble something with these cards.
Yeah, it's similar to how Impulse is played in Quark decks, where you look at the top 4 and you put one in your hand, I think, and the rest on the bottom.
Right. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this card in Krark Ishai, which is like the blue red white version of Krark that I play pretty regularly. I wish there were a version of this in like the Naya Krark that I play, but I kind of replaced that with like Regrowth, where I just start playing cards and they go to my yard and I play Regrowth and I'm like, ooh, they come back to my hand.
This
Like
guy doesn't need Underworld Breach in his deck. It's just Regrowth.
No, I don't run Breach in the deck. I just run Regrowth.
I know.
Yeah.
I run Regrowth and Savins.
That's awesome.
It's so fun. But
That is good.
I think this card is very clearly powerful. I think there might be commanders in the future that could probably take advantage of this a little better, but I don't really see any right now.
I think it's seeing play in VV, or at least being tested in VV.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
VV can
continue
do
getting gassed, I
VV
guess?
can
I
just
hate
make
that deck.
mana, like make tons of mana.
Yeah.
This is definitely well, I could see Raul playing this. It'd be cost reduced to 1 and then like
2.
Why?
Unless they have another cost reducer.
oh, okay. Yeah, but they run other cost reducers, right?
Sometimes.
I don't think it's needed.
Otherwise, it's like stuff like Stormkilled Artist or Bergie, where it makes mana, so it's fine.
Yeah. I could see this run in Elsha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could
Because
see that.
Elsha with a cost reducer, this is now 1 in a blue. It can be cast at instant speed, which Jason commented earlier. Oh, if this had instant
I
speed,
feel like this is like the 103rd card in an Elsha deck.
probably.
Yeah.
But I
think
I
would
could see
testing.
I could see a world where you play it
We're
and you're
cooking,
like,
boys. We're
Yeah.
cooking.
if I were playing Elsha, I'd probably try it.
I would try it out for sure.
But aside from those commanders, I don't really see a whole lot of like particular reasons to like. It's just a generically good card if slightly overcosted.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
No.
Keep
Cool.
making cards like this because they're
Cool.
They are very cool and they're getting so close. To
Soon
being
enough,
playable
it'll be
here.
an enchantment that triggers from your
on your upkeep. Look at the top 3. Put 1 in your hand.
Dude, that'd be sick. That's like Ripples of Undo.
Yep.
Yeah, ripples you have to pay mana for, which feels so bad.
Yeah, that card.
It
Oh, I
feels
missed
so
I missed a
bad.
really good segue into the tab here. So here, let me do it now. Kyle asked me if I played it in Wrongsai, and the answer is no. But what I do know about Wrongsai is that it was featured on this episode of the Mind Sculptors.
Yep.
And that was really cool.
Yeah, they shouted you out.
I developed a deck and an archetype for a deck, man. People are
And Ian gave you like full credit for it, being like,
Yeah.
it takes the idea of like Waffles Kinnan thing and just puts it in different colors, and you developed that whole archetype in these colors.
Or
and I
a
think
thief,
that's really
baby.
awesome.
I think actually what's most impressive about that is that either comedian has watched content that we've put out about it, or he has connected the dots on his own.
Yeah.
Because that is 100% true. I looked at Waffles, No Bad Cards Kinnan. I said, oh, wow, you are drawing cards and you are making mana. What other decks can make a lot of mana?
Yep.
I think Rograk decks can make a lot of mana.
100%.
Right? And then like Wrongsai plays the stack really well. You can run copies of Ristic. You have really solid tutors with black. And then like the deck has been feeling really strong.
It also, I think it's like benefiting the Turbo Wrongsai deck too. Because now when you sit down, you don't know what Wrongsai deck you're sitting against.
What deck are you playing?
Like,
What deck are you playing? Wrong side. I don't know.
yeah. And it's just like,
It's causing confusion.
It 100% is like, it like, you used to be able to just grab interaction so that they can't do their thing. And it's like, oh, no, I'm Wrongsai now. Like,
Yeah. I sit down at tables and
I'm
like,
glad you're.
they're like, are you
glad
playing
your mulligans
Wrongsai?
We're bad.
wait, what?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're playing Wrongsai and someone mulligans for Wrongsai,
Yeah.
then like you've made them lose cards probably
It's really funny
because of what your deck is.
I've had people like totally freak out on me and like, no, they're playing Wrongsai. They're gonna like,
They're
turbo.
gonna cast a Nas on turn 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, brother, I'm trying to find Ristic.
There is no Nas in this list, brother.
Yeah, I keep trying to tell them that, and they're like, they don't believe you. And
And it's even better too because like you forced people to like grab interaction, so you know they have it for other people too, right? Like,
yeah,
It's a really cool dynamic of a deck that like really forces people to make interesting decisions.
Passes turn with 7 pieces of interaction.
I drew a game. I at Cradle of the Guild. I had no fewer than 2 interactions where really strong players basically said, "How much interaction does this motherfucker have?" and the one game I drew, because the guy is like, "Well, I need you to like show me 2 pieces of interaction besides the pact that's to the left of you." And I go, "What if I showed you 6 pieces of interaction and a tutor?" And he's like, "That can't be real." And I was like, "I promise you, if I do it, are we drawing right now? Because like, there's no way it's getting around to my turn on time." And he's like, "Okay." And I asked the other 2 players. They're like, "Yeah, sure." And I go like, flare, pact, force, like just keep
All
going.
free,
like
all-
mind break
yeah.
trap. Like I had Swan Song, misstep, and then like vamp tutor.
All the goods.
And he's
All
just
the
like,
goods.
"What the hell, man?" I'm like, "Yeah." And we just got out of a stack war like on my turn. And
So what Logan's saying is he's a sandbagging motherfucker.
no, I just had double wristic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the deck is really interesting because it shadows a like turbo deck that has been kind of a mainstay of cEDH for a long time, but it operates in a totally different way in which it tries to play responsibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's successful at that all the time, that's up to the pilot, I guess, and up to your luck a little bit. But
Well, and people are also like testing out like a variation of a mix between the two, right? I think like Ty in Ohio is
very on like the Bolus Citadel and Snapcaster Mage gifts and
Yeah.
which is, like, also
cards that I
unique
don't
to
agree
that.
with, but
Yeah.
like what
He's
I
crushing it out there too.
but what I like most about that is that's so funny. What I like most about that is that I don't think that his innovation on the deck would have been driven had we not worked on Wrongsai.
Absolutely.
Because everyone was so just set that like Wrongsai works a
Needs to be
certain way.
turbo deck.
It has to be a turbo deck. And then, we saw the win rate just totally like tank. And then now the win rate's coming back up because
Right.
the turbo is being more successful, the wrong size being successful. And then people are like, "Wow, these generically good commanders are actually quite flexible."
Right.
Maybe not Silas, but
He gets defense grid back. He gets grinding station back.
does recast defense grid.
Emily's texting me. She said, "Somehow people still messed up your soul ring, even if you tell them it's wrong side."
Oof.
That's rough.
Yeah. Anyway, it was really cool to see us getting shouted out, specifically me, on their podcast, and we're big fans of them. So thank you. Moving on. Here's the big stuff.
Absolutely.
We had Mortal Kombat this weekend. I think we're all tired,
Yes.
to say the least.
Dude, I fell asleep at a Denny's.
You fell asleep vertical at a Dennys. You were not laying down.
Yeah.
This photo is so good.
I-
Yeah, it's so good.
I don't know if I'll post the photo anywhere. I do want to respect Jason's right to be sleeping at a Denny's.
Hit me up if you want the photo.
He'll give it to you at the end of a coaching session.
But our weekend basically looked like this. Friday, we had people come in, and we had some like errands to run. We went to Dave & Buster's. We did some kind of like walkthrough and
Yeah, just
like
check out the menu.
admin stuff.
Tech testing.
We-
Testing out some of the food too. That was so good.
Yeah, we had to test for poison. And that was pretty good. And then Saturday, what did we do Saturday?
I worked in the morning on Saturday, but you guys got food with Tim.
Oh yeah. So we went and got lunch at Lucille's, a local Cajun place. It was awesome. We did like a brunch thing.
I went to the Denver Zoo, which was super fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
at like 4:00, we went up to level 7. They did a 61 player tournament
Yup.
in.
Yeah, gold event. That's their first one at that location for a weekly. That's
Oh, really?
crazy. Yeah.
That's so
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, that was cool. But we got to see a lot of people that were coming into town for the event. Like Tim was there, Shauna was there, Snowball was there, Zach Adler.
Waffle came.
Yep.
Didn't play in the tournament, but he was there.
Oh yeah, Waffle came a little late.
Yeah.
I think Bad Dog was there.
Spider Towners from SoCal. Zach was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some Salt Lake boys.
But it's cool to like see all these people that you've interacted with at other tournaments go like, no, you're on my home turf now.
Yeah.
Like this is where I play.
This is our home.
Yeah. And how did that go? How did the level 7 one go?
Unfortunately, we weren't able to defend the home turf.
Yeah,
we lost to Zach.
Zach cooked the whole night. Did not drop. I don't think he lost a game.
No,
I heard he was on like 5 hours of sleep over like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Did not want to play the final game, and he's like, I'm going to resolve mulligans. Looked at his first hand, he's like, no, I'm good to play. Just cooked us.
What did you guys play?
I played Tim the Crom. He played Wandering Minstrel.
Wandering Minstrel.
How is Wandering Minstrel?
It's a test in progress, but I love that deck. I think that deck is so fun.
You want to tell me about the weird land interaction you had where you double nosed?
Yeah, I in the games on Friday night, we were just playing some casual games, and I cast a Naz on turn 2 or 3, and
it's a dedicated Naz deck, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a turbo deck.
It's a turbo deck that can pivot pretty well into a mid range. I mean, it can get Rhystic Study instead of Naz, right? But the plan is to Naz. It gets countered, and then I simply played a fetch and passed the turn. And then going into my turn, I cracked the fetch, grabbed Mystic Sanctuary, and put Naz back onto my top of my deck. And
Jason's eyes about.
I was like, wait, that's tapped. Yeah. Wait, no, it's not. Shit.
I just pointed at
and we're just like, oh god. He untaps, plays Naz, wins, and we're like, holy shit, that's crazy.
It could do some really cool things. I continued playing on Friday, and I was able to like crop rotation, getting Boseiju, not the good one, and then just count an uncounterable Naz, and they were just like, what?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good if it comes in untapped, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good if it comes in untapped. But yeah, I'm really loving the deck. I'm gonna put a lot of time into it. There's some variations to it too. So
I worked a little bit today on a mid-range version of the deck. I think that Naz is really cool and all that, but I think a lot of turbo decks are just like feast or famine right now. Dedicated turbo decks are very feast or famine. So if you get the Naz off or you get the turbo off early, or the Necro or whatever you call it, whichever piece it is, then it works. But then if you don't, then you're kind of like,
oh my god,
what do I do?
Put Aura Thief in your deck. He's gonna put Aura Thief in your deck. He'll call it the wrong minstrel.
Yeah.
No, I call my deck the Midstrel.
The Midstrel. Yeah.
It's so funny.
But I don't know. It's a really cool deck, and like the things that you gain from green, usually in Naz is like okay, but in this deck feel incredibly broken.
Crop rotation, what a W.
Yeah, crop rotation, getting Lotus Field to be able to like Dark Ritual any color mana is kind of broken.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Clam Chowder Sisay or like the Turbo Nagila a little bit, just because it's like a 5-color soup with like a little bit of spice, and in this case it's like land spice.
Yeah, some random stuff, but you still want to play 5-color good stuff, right?
Right.
Like that is the benefit of playing a 5-color deck, is playing all of the best cards that we have access to.
Yep.
And I think that that's like where I'm leaning into. I'm testing some random land stuff that I'm not like fully convinced on, like Summer Bloom.
Okay.
But I think the deck is so fun.
You played it for Kombat too, right?
Yeah, didn't go well, but
we'll talk about that in a minute. Any special spice you ran in TNK?
I don't know. I just added Delny. I added gifts. I was like, I don't really care about this weekend. We'll just test out how this runs. And it did fine. I never saw gifts. I never saw Delny. That's the side effect of playing 100-card singleton.
My story about Delny for the weekend was I heard that someone had a Delny.
Oh, shout out to Nate from from the north, I guess, formerly MTG Basics, but we figured this out after the game when he told me that Dennys doubles the tabernacle triggers on all your creatures. So after he paid 4 for all his creatures, the tabernacle player was like, okay, you got 4 more to pay? He's like, nope. Oh, fuck. All my creatures are dead now.
That's so insane, dude.
That's so bad. Yeah, that's a very strange because the tabernacle gives the creatures.
Yeah, it gives them the ability.
So you can run Magus of the tabernacle too. Interesting.
I do love
there's
a nice tabernacle.
there's a Magus in the tabernacle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
I did not know that was real.
Yeah. All right. And then actually, just last thing for Saturday for the level 7 tournament, I played Satya.
Yeah. This is a deck you've been brewing. How has it been feeling?
It feels like just a Jeskai good stuff deck. And then if I'm like, oh, I don't have a draw engine or something, but I have a Sentinel, and I just I have mana, I'm like, oh, no, I have 2 Esper Sentinels. I have 3 Esper Sentinels.
This is similar to how like the Jeskai shell is very, very good. Like how the Bant shell is really good from when Eric used to play a Shai Kodama, where like the base was good enough by itself, and then the commander made your deck just even better.
Yeah, I think the commander is attacking things in a very unique angle. I'm only playing a couple. Like my favorite decks right now are decks that have interesting commanders, but don't heavily rely on the commanders.
Right.
So, like this is a good example. Satya is a commander. It's 1 and Jeskai. It's a 3/5 with menace and haste, and it says when you attack, you can create a copy of a non-token creature that you control, and then you keep the copy until your end step. When you create the copy, you make 2 energy, and the copy enters like tapped and attacking when you attack. You make 2 energy, and then based on the mana value, if you want to keep it, you just pay that much energy. And the energy, if you don't pay anything, you just like keep building up energy.
Yep.
You can keep bigger and bigger things or whatever.
Right.
He's gaining energy.
I also really liked, I think we were playing on Friday, and like the deck really uses Aether Channeler, which I know is like kind of a pet card for you.
I love Aether Channeler.
And like, and it just kind of uses that card so well.
Yeah, it just really irritates people because you either have to kill the Aether Channeler, which is like not worth your effort usually, or you just play Aether Channeler and you're like, okay, well I'm gonna bounce something. And they're like, well, I'm going to kill it if you bounce my stuff. I'm like, okay, can I just draw a card instead? Because like on ETB, you make a token, you draw a card, or you bounce a non-land permanent.
Yep.
And then it runs...
Or make a bird.
That's what I said, make a token.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then like Aether Channeler also combos with Displacer Kitten.
Yep.
And then you can run Teferi Kitten. And the only like couple spice cards I run are Spellseeker. So you can make more spell seekers, and you can continue to just like
you
tutor.
Got the Final Fortune line though with the breach. Yeah.
So you can get Ephemerate, Fortune, Enlightened Tutor, and just go for the full like breach line with spell seeker.
Yeah.
It really cleans up like the lines, just having both of those and like having multiple spell seekers. It makes it a little bit easier. You can start tutoring for interaction to protect your line.
Playing an Anala of Jeskai right now.
It's kind of like that.
It's better, guys.
I mean, like I said earlier, like the baseline is like just making extra Esper Sentinels, which is pretty cool. And then I also run Imp Recruiter, and that card like hasn't seen play in a little while, but like almost everything's tutorable in the deck with Imp Recruiter.
Right.
Yeah.
Gets you Kitten, gets you Spellseeker.
Are you on Recruiter the guard as well?
No, just Imp Recruiter.
Okay.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's been fun. Like it feels solid. You just run like a strong breach package, and then Fairy Mastermind, Smothering Tithe, and stuff like that.
Turns out those cards are good.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Turns out they win games.
And just having like the one of my favorite interactions was like having multiple copies of Ranger Captain. And
it's so toxic.
Yeah, that's
you don't have to even keep them. You just make a copy, you sack it on your turn, and you're like, okay, now I have a silence on my turn, and then like I have a Ranger Captain for your turn. Like the original.
Yep. I'll go find this Mockingbird.
But anyway, that deck is pretty fun. I didn't play in Kombat because I was busy being a TO.
And doing other things.
And just trying to keep the air conditioning working, but I couldn't affect that in the slightest.
No.
So anyway, Mortal Kombat. We had a very, very interesting tournament. We had 122 players sign up. It was 124, but both Eric and I dropped to take care of other things. Eric handled a lot of the streaming. I tried.
He was a monster on stream.
Dude, I tried handling some of the streaming, but I was like, I cannot literally devote any more time to streaming.
Yeah.
I have to go do other stuff.
We were just people like rotating in for the stream.
Oh yeah, we had.
And did Raul end up?
Yeah,
Raul. Ethan, Raul, and Dom also helped out with streaming.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Those guys are so great, and it's good to see like Colorado come together and put in a good event. So we definitely owe them one. So
absolutely.
But we had a lot of good Colorado locals. We had a lot of really, really high tier players at the event. I would love to see like what the average elo for this event was. Like it was crazy.
It felt wild to me. Because like you go to like when I went to Fishbowl or like even Heisenberg, like it felt like sometimes you needed to like kind of help people play their decks and like point out an actual problem. And at this tournament, that just did not happen. And I was in losers queue, and it still didn't happen. Like,
that's hilarious.
I saw so many people that are insanely good players just like scrub out.
Oh, 100%.
Because
shout out to Evan Freedom Waffle Pierce.
What happened there?
He lost his winning in. Didn't make top 16.
I will say he was playing TNK instead of his natural Kinnan.
I know a cooked list. So.
I know Tim didn't do that great.
Yeah, Tim washed. Yeah.
Sylvan didn't do that great when Sylvan normally does pretty well, even on Silvala.
Yeah.
But we saw a lot of good decks. I know that the cEDH top 16 looks incomplete. Hopefully they're going to redo it.
It's almost there.
But the decks
made top 16, dude. That's so hot.
The decks missing here are Arkham Dagson. That's Tyler. He's a local.
Yep.
And then Zach was on TNK, and Kevin was on Chatterfang.
Yep.
And Kevin's also a local.
Swiss.
17
top
points.
Seat,
17 points.
I think he was top seat.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was 17.
Was.
So
on Chatterfang, man.
Yeah, 302.
Dude, just absolutely cooked everyone with that list.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I love it.
So overall, the tournament was really fun. We basically, for those of you that don't know at this point, we rented out a Dave and Buster's. They had food, they had drink, they had alcohol, video games,
hot air.
So we show up the day before. It was like 100 degrees. We're like
ices, dude, ices.
Yeah.
The day before Saturday was like 100 degrees, and we're at level 7. We're in the second floor, and I was like, damn, it's pretty hot in here.
Yep,
it's probably like 75 degrees inside. Dave and Buster's, we walk in at 9 a.m. It's like 75 degrees inside. Yeah. And I'm like, oh no, we
haven't put 100 people.
There's 10 people in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so like, I'm asking them, can we turn the air down? Can we do anything? And she's like, yeah, I'll turn it down. I look at it, it's like set to like 65 or 63 or something. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cold. Like, hopefully it cools down. Nope. They just always got warmer, just kept getting warmer.
Next event, we got to do it in the mountains where it's like, it's an ice box or something, dude.
Well, we learned later that one of their air conditioners, or at least one, if not two, were down. Were not working. Because like you'd walk into any other spaces and they were like cooler.
Yeah.
But also it was just a hot day too. So we watched the temperature of the room climb, and we were at, I think, peaked at like 82 or 83 degrees in the room. And then that was that temperature all day up until we were done.
Yep.
And it was hot. So I apologize to everyone that was there. But like the fact that people weren't really leaving, they were just like stepping out to get air and like coming back in.
Or at the bar.
Yeah, at the bar. Real.
Yeah, raising their body temperature by just drinking alcohol. But yeah, I mean, I think like people were having a really good time. Like we had really good feedback. I think there were definitely things that we learned along the way that we could do better.
Absolutely.
But for a first event, fuck yeah, man. Like that I think we did a pretty good job for our first event.
It was so fun, man. I had such a fun time. Like even scrubbing out in the tournament and being able to go take shots with Jax and then grab a beer and just start walking around having fun, man. Like it was so good.
I heard Jax like started drinking immediately.
He had a good time.
Yeah. You can say that.
Yeah, he had a good time.
Jax was making donations not only to the bar but also to the TOs because yeah,
he had a good time.
Overall, I think the event was pretty solid. we'll try to clean things up for next time. I don't know if this relationship with Dave & Buster's will continue, but they seem pretty happy with the event overall from their perspective. One of the other things was people were complaining about like the service and like how they didn't get a lot of table service and stuff. We found out, or at least I found out, that they only had one server up until about 3:00.
Yeah,
and
they only had a bunch of call-ins, right?
They had 9 people call off.
That's so crazy.
And the sense that I got was they've been burned on events in the past where people would come and throw a big event and then they wouldn't like pay well, or they wouldn't tip well. They wouldn't like order food. They wouldn't do anything like that. And my sense from our event was that we did the opposite. Yeah. And I told everyone, I was like, look, please don't bring outside food. Like they've been really nice to us. They've been really good to us. Try to order food, try to order drinks, tip your server well and all that stuff. And like, they were super happy. They're like, wow, we met all of our goals, like all that stuff. And like, this is one of the better events that we've had in a long time. I think they
exceeded their expectations. Cause like, it seemed like they weren't ready for
No.
Yeah.
And
128
the
people
sense
to be
that
in a Magic tournament.
The sense that I got was like there were people calling off because they didn't want to go to the event because they thought that they weren't going to make their money. They weren't going to.
Also Father's Day, right? Like restaurant business that does happen
for sure. But still.
But yeah.
So we'll try to figure out these things for next time, and also like the time limit thing was kind of a rough thing. We had originally talked about 1:00 with them, and they seemed very on board until it got to about 10:00, and they're like, no, it's 12:00, and we're like, what?
Yeah. We tried our absolute hardest to get it back to 1:00, and they were not.
They're just not having it, but we got it done. We got it taken care of. So I think next time we'll move it to probably a Saturday where they don't close till 2:00 anyway.
Yeah. I think we have plenty of time if we do it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And football season's coming up, right? Like they're not going to want to rent that room to us on
Sundays.
Anyways,
no way.
right?
No way. They're like college football on Saturday. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Overall, like it was so great to see people come into the event, especially from out of town. We had good groups from Utah, from SoCal, from
OKC.
Oklahoma City, from Milwaukee, and I heard there was a guy from Maine that had flown in.
Wow.
And like
people drove from Vegas too.
Oh, that's yeah. And then like Tim came from New York, and Zach came from or Snowball came from Alabama. So like people just came from everywhere.
It was a blast, man. I had such a good time. Like
me too.
Yeah. I think the vibes were good, and overall, like I just couldn't have asked for more. So I want to say thank you to everyone who attended, everyone who helped. I am not going to be able to credit every single person who has either helped or advertised or just put the word out. I mean, so many people did so many things to make this event happen.
Yep.
It means so much to me. It means so much to us.
Special shout outs to the judges. They're
all local judges too.
Yeah. We were actually like really worried about getting judges for this event. And so like them being able to show out and show up was a huge thank you. And Jeff for Enchanted Grounds.
Yep. And then even John the night before, he was like, very willing to be like, oh no, I'm not there to support you at the event, but what I'll do is we'll increase the player cap to 64 for the night before, and they
held a raffle and stuff like that for some packs.
Dude,
that was so cool.
Yeah, they did not need to do that.
Steven opened a Surge Foil Cloud.
Yeah,
and Tim's like, I need that.
Yeah.
I need no. Steven opened a Surge Foil Kefka. And Tim had a cloud he was sitting on, and he's like, I need to get rid of this. Like, I'll trade you for the Kefka.
Yeah.
And Steven's like, that's like twice as much or 3 times as much as the Kefka I just opened. And Tim's like, I don't care. I need the Kefka. I'm going to play it.
Give me that.
Like, that's what I'm playing tomorrow. I need it.
So it was cool. Like, I mean, just the vibes were so good, and it was so fun to see everyone. So we hope we can throw more events like this and bring people together. I think that's really what we want to do, and just have positive experiences and stuff like that. So here's our mini slideshow with some Evan Freedom Waffle Pierce pictures. So if you guys can give any context about these.
This is Zach cooking us in a round 3 of level.
This was Saturday night at level 7.
Round 3 of Swiss. This guy plays a Dennys, dashes out a Ragavan, hits a Mockingbird off my deck, and I was like, oh wow, what's this gonna be? He cast an Esper Sentinel, and I was like, oh right,
yep,
right, and then double
Esper, double Delaney.
Yeah, I had that in Satya, and I was like, wow, this feels incredible.
Yeah.
This feels amazing.
Yeah.
Then next turn he hits me and gets Bowmaster and Flare of Duplication off my deck. And it's like, wow.
Yep.
GG.
Hey, GG, you got
GG,
it, man.
you got
So
it.
do you think like Dennys good enough to run in TNK most times, or is it just not your style?
It's in my deck.
Right now?
Yeah, right
That
now.
says a
I
lot.
thought you said you took it out.
No, it's in this deck for this weekend. I might take it out.
Well, it's past this weekend. It's Tuesday.
Well, you see, I've been sleeping the last 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta recover.
I'll let you at that one.
Yeah.
What is going on here, dude?
This is after the Ragavan hit him, dude.
Yeah, no. This is okay. I kept land Necro in this game on my mold of 4.
So you
hit
turned
with
3 Necro?
And it was turn 3 Necro. But this guy just hits me and hits the nuts off my deck, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing that.
That's really funny. Okay. Oh, these are in the Nicolas Cage, by the way. So
Yeah.
this was on stream
that's
and
hilarious.
under the lights and stuff. That's cool. This was my game with Hane. I believe Shauna's sitting on the one side, and then I think that's Bodhi on the right.
Yeah, Bodhi's on the right.
Okay.
So this was a pretty contentious game. Like not a contentious I would say it's a hard fought game.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was 4 players that
Want to win the game.
not only want to win the game, but like, Hane and I, we both did not need to win to make top 16. So we're like, we're cool to draw, and both of them needed to win. So that kind of created like an interesting dynamic. And I think that it takes more experienced players to realize that sometimes the dynamic shifts for reasons that are not within the game. So that was really interesting, and I think I'll take probably a lot of time to reflect on that game in particular and see if there's things that I could have like done differently, like politicking wise and stuff like that. So I think I played pretty clean, but like we all kind of had like different motivations going in. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Calvin's in the background.
Dude, you can't miss
Oh,
it. That guy's
shoot.
gigantic, bro.
This is the largest man I've ever met. He actually cooked on Saturday.
Yeah, he did really well.
He was
Yeah.
201 playing Wrongsai. This man has never played a tournament in paper in his life.
He was buzzing too after when going into top 16. He was like on cloud 9. He's like, I'm so good at this game.
Yep. And that was really cool. I was really glad to see him make top 16, top cut. These are all Evan's pictures, by the way.
Yeah.
Freedom Waffles pics. Okay. Yeah. Here's the other view from that pod. But you can see, spirits are high.
Snowball's
Everything's
watching
good.
too.
Yep. And this is Snowball, one of the artists we had at Mortal Kombat, and it was good to see him out there too. This was.
That's a terrifying board state.
This was.
Oh, that was your for fun game because you got the buy.
No.
You jumped into.
No. Actually, I remember this now. I was a little information overloaded, but now I'm starting to recall what happened on Saturday. Round 1, I had a bye, and I go to sit down away from the tables and just kind of like take a break and relax. And I've been like moving since Friday. Like it's middle of Saturday. I'm like, okay, I need to like sit and collect myself. I noticed there's the 3-pod right in front of me, and so I said, Judge, I see there's a 3-pod. I think that's going to be like not a good experience. I said, I'm willing to give up a buy if I can be slotted into this pod if they're okay with it.
Oh.
And Ethan's like, well, I think that's fine. And he said, let me ask the pod just so that, if they give permission, it's fine. And what they would do is take my 5 points away from a buy and then just manually move me into the pod.
Right.
And drop the player that was...
Interesting. Why was that not done already?
Because the rounds were already paired, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then they didn't realize that the player wasn't there, or they had dropped or something.
Oh, I see.
And so anyway, the player's like, well, I don't think that's a good idea, because like if he wins, then I'll have 10 points. And then I don't think Ethan heard him say that. And well, Ethan's like comes back over to me. He goes, no, they don't really want you to. I was like, wait, what? And so I said, do you mind if I talk to them? And he goes, okay. And so I talked to them. They're like, well, if you win, like you get 10 points. I was like, no, I'm going to give up my buy entirely.
I just want to play the game.
Like, I just want to play. Like, I'm here to play with you guys. Like, and they're like, oh, okay.
If you could buy Max like that,
they're like, oh, okay. Like, and so that was cleared up. And then I said, okay. So I sat down. This board state is like absolutely terrifying. This is like the kind of shit that Satya does, which is like have double face breaker. I was creating like ether channelers just on every attack. I had double smothering tithe. It was fun. Like it felt good. The deck felt really good.
Yeah.
And that was my only win of the day. But I
gave up 5 points, gained 5 points.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I wanted to earn the 5 points. Just getting a buy and then like if I draw 2 more games, like, oh, I made top 16 on a buy. Like that doesn't feel good.
Right.
But I did end up drawing 2 more games. I think I played well in both of those games, but sometimes you just can't convert and you can't make the win, but at least you make top 16. Yeah. So there's only 3 rounds anyway. And then moving on to actual photos from Mortal Kombat. This is John. He's got a critical EDH mat. Look at that.
Yeah, he's a local Magda player.
Yep. He plays Magda. I think he also plays Master of Keys.
Yes, he does.
I don't know if I've met this person.
He's super nice.
Okay.
Awesome. He and his kid come by a lot. I think he plays draft with his kid a lot, like a lot of limited. Okay. But almost
I met his kid at SCG Con, and they were both playing in the event, so it was super cool.
Oh, nice.
But they play like other Magic formats together. But he likes playing cEDH, and he'll show up and play like a lot of Magda. Okay. But he's pretty good.
Oh, there's Sylvan and Church in the background.
Yep, there's Sylvan, there's Church. Church is from
he's rocking the critical Kansas. EDH hoodie, dude.
Yeah, dude. We're everywhere, man. We can't be missed. This is Steven
Giles.
Steven Giles, yeah.
And man, he was in one of my pods on Saturday, and like I think we drew that pod, right?
He's a very good player. He was in my top 16 pod on Saturday.
We did draw that game.
Yeah.
And that was because I drew only lands, and
I was gonna win that game. Because I was about to untap it and we drew on Pigeon's turn.
Yeah, no.
That pod was okay. So like, everyone talks about draws being bad, but when you put players like me and Steven and then Jason and Pigeon into a pod, something's got to give.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, either one of us wins like super hardcore or we just draw.
Mm-hmm.
God, my top decks that game were so good.
Anyway, but here's Emily pondering over something in Wrongsai. Looks like she's got a Ristic study
What's
down.
Her board state?
It's hard to see. It looks like
a steel enchantment?
Or a copy.
That is a steel enchantment.
That is a steel. There's a Ristic, there's a Mamber, there's a Treasure, lands.
Okay.
Normal Wrongsai board.
Wrongsai board.
Kind of based Wrongsai board. Tim had like the absolute goated token spread.
It
was so good.
And stickers and stuff. I'm setting up some lights and equipment.
The opposite of his face at a cradle.
This is Ethan. He did a really good job helping out casting, and unfortunately, I think he was like not able to play in the event.
Yeah.
But he did devote a lot of time to helping out in other ways, which is really cool. He was saying
that he was traveling and couldn't commit a lot of time to practice at the event or before the event, and that's why I didn't want to play.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Stephen Gray, one of our local GOAT artists. I mean, he is just absolutely insane. He did a lot of work for the tokens and stuff. So we got them printed. Jason's got some somewhere.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
These are sick. Guys, look at this. This is a treasure token. I'm not sure if you guys can see
There's no way you can see that.
We'll link them in the bottom or something like that. But there's like there's a duck hunt 2/2 bird. If you guys can barely see that. There's a Jaws pay 4 for a fish trigger.
That one's so cool.
It's so cool.
We're gonna need to give Jason like 20 of those things to be able to have them for each part of the stack.
Yeah.
Or I'll just put them as the age counter, so I'll just need 8 of them.
So our plan is with the leftover ones, we're gonna sell them in like sort of token packs, or maybe we'll do like, if you want to buy 5, we'll let you pick whichever 5 you want. but the funds from those will go back to Steven. He's trying to start up his art business and start making stuff for the Magic community. I think he does a really, really good job. He's already invested a lot of money into getting like a tablet and some of the digital tools.
Yeah, like
because
Procreate. I
Yeah.
heard he was having a lot of fun going into Procreate.
so the Construct token is actually his first all digital piece.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whereas I had to spend a lot of time digitizing the rest of the tokens because he likes to draw on paper, and like I totally get that because like it's one thing to draw on paper and it's one thing to create digitally, but I really like supporting especially our local guys. But he's actually, I mean, he has incredible art. So
I am pretty sure he's open for commissions too. Like reach out to him on Twitter.
Yep.
I know some people at Mortal Kombat were already talking to him about inking some tokens. So reach out to him on X or Twitter or because I'm
Instagram.
Or Instagram. I'm sure he's looking to do more.
So we have a link tree on the back of these tokens. It's a QR code, but it's for the event specifically. So nothing will change on this, but it links all the artists that were at the event. It links the local store, links Dave and Buster's, and we had a music playlist going the entire time. That's also on there if you want to see some of the music we played at the event. There's only like 8 hours of music or something on there. But
shout out to Emily for working on that.
Yeah, for sure. And then, this is what was going on here, Jason?
I think this is exactly the moment I saw a Force Negation get ripped on in a braid for Lightning Greaves.
What?
Yeah.
What?
No.
I'm sorry, I haven't heard those two words in the context of cEDH in a while.
No joke. Okay, so for context, seat 1 is Bryant playing Rowan. Seat 2 is our local Anthony playing Xyrus, the Writhing Storm. I'm playing TNK.
Snake Boy.
And in 4th seat is Pigeon on Atali. We're all locals.
It's a local pod.
Yeah, it's so gas.
This is a top 16 pod on stream, so
Yeah.
if you want to watch this game, it's on there.
We'll have to cut that up and upload it.
Yep. But in this game, Pigeon plays in a braid targeting Lightning Greaves that are attached to a Xyrus.
He's playing a braid in Atali
Yeah.
because it kills Dranith
Yes.
Yeah.
and kills Curse Totem?
It
Question
does
mark?
kill Curse Totem.
Okay, sure.
But
I'm sure there's reasons
But
for it.
Anthony
Cage.
protects his Lightning Greaves with a Force Negation because there's a Bowmaster in play, and he plans to wheel on his next turn. However, it doesn't ever get to his next turn because then Pigeon casts a Geo Surge on his turn. And then,
What are these cards?
That's like a Twin Flame, but I think it has flashback.
No. That's Electro Duplicate.
Okay.
Geo Surge
Is green,
a
right?
4 or 5 drop red spell that's a sorcery that generates 7 red mana to
7? Seven.
I wonder.
He casts a Tali and then flips over Ranger Captain Jessica's Will, and his Jessica's Will hits 2, like his first 2 flips are lands. I'm like, ooh, and then he flips over Dual Caster, and I was like, GG.
Yeah.
You got it, bro. GG, you got it, bro.
He had a Twin Flame in hand.
So is this you on the Force of Negation, or is this on the?
That was me on
is
the.
this on the
Force
J Will?
He didn't even
On
know
the
the
Force of
actual
Negation.
problem was coming.
Yeah, I was like, bro, you can't waste it on that. It doesn't matter.
I will say, like, in this pod, I did see Jason just, like, top deck a Chain of Vapor for Rowan before they won. And, like, I was just like, wow, they actually stopped Rowan. Because I don't think anyone had anything for him until then.
Wow.
Bryant told me after the game the hand he kept was bad because it didn't do enough damage to himself.
I love that deck, man. It's so sick.
funny. So funny.
He just cooks people on it, too.
Here's Eric and Dom in the streaming booth.
Dude, Eric was grinding all day.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He had me sit down, and then I kept feeling like I was like getting pulled away by stuff. I commentated like part of a game. I was like, I gotta get up, bro. Like I can't sit here. I got other stuff to do. And he's like, no problem.
Dude, he's born to yap, forced to play.
I know. It's so crazy. I think he's found his calling. Like, after Nashville, he was talking. He's like, honestly, like I thought that like my value of a player was, or of myself as a player was, doing well in tournaments and stuff. And then like at Nashville, we just casted, like we worked for 2 days straight. And he's like, I had
positive feedback.
He's like, I had so much fun. And I was like, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, like, you know, there's plenty of space for you to do it. But Dom stepped in and helped out a lot too. He was just like my go-to guy. I was like, go sell those tokens to that guy. Go, you know, get me a playmat. Go
last minute ringer.
Yeah.
Yep.
But really good guys.
I mean, even then, like there were people filling in, but Eric did do a lot of commentary just on his own, talking to chat. You know, being a Twitch streamer.
Dude, he had literally his phone out on a charger so it wouldn't die, and he's like reading Twitch chat. He's like, yeah, bro. It's like this, it's like that, and then he's like, oh, there's another comment.
I gave him a little bit of a primer. I was like, okay, when you start talking, no one knows who you're addressing, so you kind of have to like read back the comment. And then he goes, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then so since I told him that, he goes, so and so says, and then says their comment, and then he goes, well, actually, and then he starts like talking as if he's himself. I'm like, you've got it. Like I give you like this, I give you like 10% of what you needed to know, and then like you just ran with it. So he's been killing it.
I know that on that top 16 game where the Atali one, where Pigeon won on Atali, one of his comments was, oh, Atali win brought to you by Blue Farm and Ranger Captain of Eagles.
Oh my god.
I was standing right behind him.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure you catch my laugh.
That's so funny.
I was like, oh, that was great, dude.
Yeah. Here's Pigeon and Jeff. Jeff is the owner of Enchanted Grounds. He basically put on and funded the event. So huge props to him. They also vended at the event and provided like a lot of sealed product and really kind of like crazy spread of singles and stuff.
What a crazy binder this guy has.
Oh yeah.
I'm literally looking through it. I'm like, this is more money than I've ever seen in my life.
He has this tiny little binder and it's got like more duels in it than I've ever seen ever.
Yeah, there are like Moxes in it. I'm just like, oh my.
I thought I had good cards. I thought I had nice cards. Nope. But
he's trying to finish his alpha collection, right?
I know. Yeah,
he's like super close to it.
He is. He's only like 20 cards off or something.
So
oh my lord.
But yeah, he owns Enchanted Grounds. There's 2 locations, one in Highlands Ranch and one in Littleton. We very regularly frequent the Littleton location. They have really good coffee, snacks, drinks, and all that stuff. And that's where we host our like little small 40-player tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, our monthlies.
But this is our big first like excursion away from the store.
Shout out on June 28th, Enchanted Grounds monthly for this month for June.
Yep. So I heard, because I wasn't here at the last monthly, I heard that Jeff was like, well, we have Mortal Kombat coming up and like we'll probably cancel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
his exact words were like, I'm not sure if you guys will be burned out by the time Enchanted Grounds monthly on the 28th is around, so I might just cancel the next event and then you guys can go to Mortal Kombat. And everyone in the room was like, no, we need more events. We go to these events because we're junkies, bro.
And he's like, okay.
Yeah, like literally like the entire venue was like, you don't have to do that.
No,
like, just run it again.
We are addicted to playing Magic the Gathering. Like,
I think we're not only addicted to playing Magic the Gathering, but we're also addicted to playing with our friends and with the group of people.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like it's just good environment. So he does a really good job of fostering that environment and especially at this tournament. Like he ran the tournament well and he kind of did a good job of just letting things flow when he needed to and step in when he needed to as well. Sylvan's got their cradle back.
Oh my god,
I love it.
So for context, earlier this year, Sylvan's cradle was unfortunately stolen, but the Denver community it
was stolen
at Snowy Summit too.
Yeah.
And the Denver community came together and we funded Sylvan a
replacement.
So and honestly, I'm glad. I love
too.
Sylvan. They're an awesome person.
Yep.
Yeah. Sylvan's a giant pillar of the community.
For sure. I was very surprised, but also equally happy to see Sylvan at this event.
Yeah, 100%. I loved seeing Sylvan there.
Yep.
My personal photo of the event.
Yeah.
My personal favorite photo.
This is the story of Eric and me at this event. We basically had way too many electronics to know what to do with. You can't tell in these photos, but the lighting was not super great at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah,
And we
atmospheric.
It was a little dim.
we asked if we could turn the lights up at all, and they're like, no, these are as high as they go. And we're like, oh, great. We were fighting with cords a lot of the time, but this was fun. This is funny. And then this is kind of a good shot of the room. What it looked like. You can see Jeff over here in the corner. They were vending over in these booths.
Yeah.
And then we just had like a big room to ourselves. And we had these giant TV screens. There were probably like 36 feet of TVs.
Dude, it was so nice that there were like timers super visible on.
Yeah, we had a lot of positive feedback, just being like, we did not have to worry about when the round was ending. Like,
You literally cannot miss them.
Yeah, it was great.
You turn your head or you look at like out of the corner of your eye and you see the time.
Yeah, there's no like doing the owl move or trying to find it. It's
and it was
guys, the round is ending at that time.
It was one giant screen, but the way they had it set up, it was 3 mirrored screens. Mm-hmm. So like no matter where you're sitting, you cannot miss that like round timer. One of the original things I was envisioning was having the stream pod in a separate area and then streaming to that screen, and people could watch whatever stream pod was going on, whether it was like in Swiss or specifically in top 16 or top 4. You could watch the game and see how it's going. Yeah. But that didn't quite work out the way we wanted to. That said, I think that the timers are probably more important than watching a game because people are standing around watching games anyway.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. And then me just being chuffed that the event's going well and things are started. And I really enjoyed like running around and trying to make things work.
Oh my God. You look like you just got your first Lego set and you built the instructions from step 1 to like step 28 perfectly. And you're like, oh my God, my Legos are working.
Yeah, I think I like being like a facilitator, like a fixer. If someone says like, oh, I have a problem or something, I'd like, usher a judge over if they didn't quite see the call right away, or if somebody needed something, I would just kind of go try to address it and try to make things run. Yeah, but like I think not any recent events I've been to, but I've been to events where TOs are like, I'm the tournament organizer, and then they go to a chair and they sit down. Yeah. And like my legs are tired because I did not sit down for very long at all.
This man needed a beer too, though.
Huh?
So he needed a beer, dude. Walk around with a beer, you're good to go.
Yeah. And then here's Jay being understudied to the judge team, basically. But he did a really, really good job as well. And Snowball and Tim, they finally got to meet in person. That was a big thing for especially Snowball. He really looks up to Tim a lot. And just getting to make that connection, I think us being able to facilitate like these connections in the community is really cool. But they're both fantastic artists. And there's Jeff yelling as he does. And here's the Blight Club.
The Denver sector of
the Denver chapter of the Blight Club.
Yeah. Chapter, that's what it is.
But I told Evan, I was like, you got to get a photo of these guys. Like, they're really showing up and showing out at the event. So like, you got to get a photo of them. So it was cool to see all of them there. Speaking of groups at the event, MTG Basics was also there in like full force.
Dude, it was so awesome to see all of them.
Dude,
they're all like homies.
Yeah, I love playing against all of these players too.
We have such a good Colorado scene, and I think we all we at Critical EDH really look up to these guys because they're very well established. They've got their stuff sorted out pretty well, and I think Evan's part of their group now, right?
Yeah, Evan's got a jersey now. I mean, maybe it's not official and you're getting insider scoop, but
no one watches our videos anyway, dude.
Evan's part of their channel now. He does he's gonna start doing editing, and they're gonna do like podcasting.
Cool.
Kind of like the Final Fortune podcast that he did with Memo.
Kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Who took this photo, Jason?
Dude, they kidnapped me at the beginning of the event. They're like, Evan's like, Jason, come here. And I'm like, okay. I walk outside. All the MTG basic guys are around me as I'm walking outside. I'm like, am I getting kidnapped? Evan's like, all right, take a picture.
It's a cabal ritual.
It's a dark ritual.
Yeah. But yeah, you did a good job taking this photo, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is right outside Dave and Buster's. Yeah, I mean,
Shout
just
out
before it got really
Pigeon's
hot.
pants, dude. These things are sick.
What? What are those? What are those, dude? Anyway, here's most of our top 16.
Yeah.
We tried to get everyone everyone that we could. Let's see if we can do everyone. Let's name everyone.
That's Colin Bennett, Jesse Jernigan. There's Tyler Lindbald. There's Max Sternberg. There's Jacob L., who's Bad Dog, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's Zach Adler. There's Chris Spalding.
Dude, Chris made top 16 in a huge tournament.
I know, dude.
I'm so proud
Shout
of
out
him.
to
Almost
him.
top forward. Like, he was so close to top fouring his game, too.
I'm so proud of him. Really good. Dude, he just had a kid and he's like bouncing back into tournament play.
Yep.
Good for him.
Dude, I
Surprised what happens when a Glinthorn Buccaneer just hits
I know, right?
I met this guy when he first started his cEDH career in the Mythic Games League, and this guy was a trooper. He went like 38 losses, 0 wins
Holy shit.
in like the first like couple weeks, but he was there to just jam games. He's like, I'm here to learn, and honestly, he almost made top 4. Like the growth is insane here.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, who's this guy?
There's a nobody, but
Yeah, okay,
Jason
anyway.
Doan. Stasha Stagg. There's
Is she from Fort Collins?
She did tell me she was a local. I'm not sure if it's southern or northern.
I think
Okay.
she is from Fort Collins.
I know that there's a good amount of Fort Collins people that came down for this event, and that was really cool to see them too. I think she's from Fort Collins.
I had a quick conversation with her, like at the very beginning of the tournament, when I was running around trying to find an MDFC for my
was-
Passeggio.
Kydell
Tevish.
Tevish. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. And then
Bryant Wicks.
in the shadows, Mr. Wicks.
There's Kevin Tran playing Chatterfang.
Yep.
Yep.
There's Pigeon. Joseph Fago.
And
There's Anthony Warren.
he was the Zyrus.
Yeah, Zyrus.
Okay.
There's Dylan Smith.
He was on Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Dog
Yoshi
Grass,
Thrash?
yep.
Okay.
And then shout out to Jonathan Vicks. I played a pod with him. That was one of the most frustrating punts I've had, but very funny story afterwards.
Okay.
Vix is so fun to play.
Yeah,
like,
Vix is
just to be
honestly
around.
so
Good
fun
energy.
to play.
These 3 guys are from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oklahoma came here and just took our lunch money.
So
man.
Oklahoma, I'm not sure where Dylan's from.
Dylan's from SoCal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Denver, SoCal,
Yep.
Denver, north of Denver.
Yep.
So it's literally Denver, SoCal, and OKC in the top 16.
Yep.
That's freaking awesome. And then this is
The
top 16 as well.
pod.
Yep.
So there's Chris and Jesse.
Jesse. There's
I think this
Emilio
is-
too.
Oh,
In that photo, this is when Jesse is like actively bluffing in one of his games. And he was able to win off of this bluff.
wow.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's start why.
No,
I'm
no,
kidding.
no,
I'm
no.
kidding. I'm kidding.
And then I did want to show the champ mat because I got to see it once and then it was like taken from me. But the champ mat and the top 4,
Microfiber.
they're microfiber.
so
they're
sick.
fuzzy.
Yeah.
They feel like felt like on a poker table. Oh, feels
I can't wait to see.
I don't know what that feels like.
I could definitely make another analogy that's probably not YouTube appropriate. I cannot wait to see these mats. Hopefully we see them in the wild. How cool would it be to see like on the random stream and you're like, oh, that's the champ.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
like,
God.
you know,
That's the GOAT.
the top 4 or whatever. But I think they came out really great. Gold Saber just knocked it out of the park with these. And then do we have a last tab? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Tim pulled me aside and he's like, "Hey, bro, we gotta go." And I'm like, "I'm at an event. Where are we going?" And he's like, "Well, I got tickets to post, and we're trying to make connections there a little bit." Willie, who's one of Post's sound engineers, I guess he's called a playback engineer. He stopped by at both the events on Saturday and Sunday, and was just chopping it up, talking to us about a lot of the stuff we had going on. Post Malone was in town Sunday for a concert with Jelly Roll. And Willie picked up some mats and stuff and like some tokens from Steven and Snowball and Gold. And obviously they're going to like go back on the tour bus. And like, that's super fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like
they're so cool.
All of our stuff is just out there somewhere. And then, so he took 3 of our mats. He took one of the critical EDH mats, the black and white one. So that's on there.
So gassed.
And then he took 3 of the Kombat mats. And I was like, cool. I'll never see those again. And maybe I'll see them like on a random Instagram post or something. Like that'd be so sick.
Yeah.
And then so we get to the concert, and I told the guys, I told Eric and like Dom, I was like, I gotta go. Like it's my birthday. Like
of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
like and everyone's like, yeah, sure, man. Like go. And then so we get to the concert, and Willie walks by. He's like down in the pit area, and he throws up to Gold a mat. And it's signed by Post.
It's so sick.
Wow.
It's so sick.
It's so cool. But like that means that Post Malone knows about Mortal Kombat. He knows about the tournament.
He knows about us.
He knows about us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He has probably heard about the Denver scene and stuff. Like I think they were all pretty impressed with like the tournament and just like the turnout. And then like even look at this chick. She's in disbelief too.
Yeah.
But like just the signature and it's just it really capped off the event. I was like, okay, now
It's so awesome.
now I got a frame for it. We're gonna frame it.
Oh,
It's gonna be a
that's
wow.
It's gonna be a set piece for here somewhere.
Somewhere.
We'll figure it out
for sure.
Right there.
But anyway, overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the event, especially for it being our first one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some things happened, right? And we're just gonna learn on it and throw the better. And like in the grand scheme of things, they weren't that.
Things happen at every event. There's always going to be like some sort of drama. There's always going to be some sort of judge calls that are maybe questionable, or a player doesn't like them, or something, right? That's part of playing competitive Magic, or it's part of playing competitive sports. There's player gets injured. There's who knows how many different things happen. It could be snowing at a football game. It could be 300 degrees outside and you still have to play or whatever. And like, it's part of, I mean, we're all wussies, right? We sit down at a table and play a card game. Like we're not, we're not like physical athletes. So, we get a little uncomfortable when things are a little bit warm, but I think everyone stuck it out pretty well. Yeah.
And the event, it was so much fun. Like I keep saying, like it was one of the better events that I've ever been to, like in general, not just in Magic.
I agree. Even though I crashed out, I had a lot of fun.
That was the goal, is even if you don't do well, because like most people aren't going to do well, right? Like statistically.
Yeah. Statistically speaking, most people are not going to make top 16.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like my round 5, like I didn't have a round 5, but like round 5, we just like sat down as a like in a casual, just like jam of a pod. We all just grabbed a beer and it was a blast. Like we were just having so much fun, laughing.
You said in your round 5, like, okay, so there was apparently a 3-pod.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not going to play this game anyway. And you're just like sitting there.
Kind of snack. Like I was sitting there just talking to them and they're like, yeah, we'll just draw this pod so we can just play.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you were telling me that like you guys were like having a total blast and like making jokes and stuff. And apparently the pod right next to you was like on their winning
and just like high stress sweating.
But it's cool that you can have those like both modes, just as well, both modes of high stress but also fun, or maybe a little bit of both at the same time.
Oh, it was such a blast. Can't wait for the next one.
we'll link all of the Freedom Waffle photos. You can see everyone having a good time for the most part. And like he did such a good job. I'm so glad he came out. And yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say about it other than we're tired, but like.
Oh, shout out to the Play Nice guys. They gave us.
Oh yeah.
They gave us play mats for the stream.
My God. Okay, so how many different people do we need to shout out for this event? Okay, we've got Play Nice.
Nice.
We partnered with them, so if you went to this event, create a Play Nice account, and on that account you can track your cEDH stats.
Link it to Discord, I think, and it'll
link it to your Discord. It'll automatically link to this event through Top Deck. And then you'll get a special badge on your profile, which is the first of its kind. There's no other event badges yet. So this is the only event badge.
Steel City. No,
this is the only event badge you can get so far on your Play Nice account. And I think they have special badges for like top 4 and Champ 2.
Yeah, they do.
And then top 4, they got Play Nice mats, Play mats by Gold Sabertooth, or we were supposed to. Where those are.
We don't know.
I wasn't there.
Where those are.
Someone got one. Sorry. But they did a really good job partnering with us and they helped us promote the event. We were happy to work with them as well. And we really look forward to working with them in the future. Shouts out to Steven, Zach, or Snowball, and Tim, Gold Sabertooth, for being 3 fantastic and excellent artists that showed up to the event, did a lot of good vending, and provided art for the event in many different ways. Snowball did the banner and sort of the character portraits and stuff. We had tokens for those as well. Jason's got a couple right there.
Yep. We've got Marnius and Natalie right here. You probably can't see it, but
we have cool. I think we have 11 different ones of those, or 10.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Those will be up in the Critical EDH store somewhere eventually. Shouts out to all those guys.
Enchanted Grounds for vending, Kevin for vending.
Yep, and then Level 7 for supporting us generally and helping us coordinate for the event the night before. Critical EDH team, not limited to, but including Jason, Austin, Eric, Dom, Jay,
Jax.
God,
there's too many.
Like all our locals.
Emily,
too,
all of our locals, everyone that's just put out the word and supported. MTG Basics doing a really good job promoting the event.
Judge crew, Kane did a great job being head judge.
Kane, Tristan, David.
Yep.
And Jay is also part of that judge crew. Yep.
I get nothing, but
we're forgetting a lot of people.
Okay, actually, shout out to this guy who actually started the whole thing going. Logan, wish him a happy late birthday. His birthday was June 16th. So
now I'm doxxed. Yeah. Now they know that I live in Littleton and my birthday is June 16th. Yeah. What else are they going to know about me?
But truly, like, this event would not have happened without you.
Yeah,
right? Like,
100%.
You were the driving force of this event, and it would not have happened without you.
Yeah.
Can we just reflect slightly on how this event came to be?
Dude, we got told a month and a half ago that we were going to do this event.
You're like, I'm on the phone with a Dave & Buster's like corporate talker or whatever.
Event planner.
Yeah, event planner, and we could maybe have an event in a Dave & Buster's, and I'm like, I've never been there, but I've heard it's really fun.
Yeah,
it was literally 7 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. And we had a small kind of meeting outside of EG one night.
Yeah, I said, like, all of you people that don't need to know about this, go away. I need to talk to like the 4 of you now. And I said, if we need to do this, we're doing it or we're not doing it.
Yeah.
There's no in between. There's no half-assing. We either are or we're not. Are you guys in?
Like, hey, is this possible?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
We're like, okay.
Yeah. And just full sent it. And in reality, I feel like most of this thing was planned in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yep.
After that meeting, we had most of it figured out.
We only made 2 trips to Dave & Buster's. Probably could have done with a third, but one very early on, one right before the event, and they were so easy to work with. I know that we have problems that we can fix for the next event and stuff like that, but overall, I really couldn't recommend it enough. Like, they just they were very, very supportive of Magic the Gathering, of us and cEDH, and just players in general. They're kind of like, whatever you guys need, we're they're happy with and stuff like that. So
I will say I talked to some of the staff as well at the event, and they all like loved. They were like, "You guys have been great. Like everyone was respectful." So shout out to like everyone that came to the event too.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah, like the staff enjoyed us there, which is only going to help us do it again.
Oh my God. When I gave the event planner the playmat, he had like the biggest smile I've ever seen. He was like, this is so cool.
Did we end up giving them one? At least one?
Yeah,
okay,
I gave him one.
Perfect.
Yeah, the like shift manager for that day was like
I think his name was Jacob.
Magic. Yeah.
He's like, oh, I have a Naya deck and stuff.
Yeah,
and
just started nerding out
Oh my
there.
God.
And I loved it.
So cool.
Yeah.
Magic brings people together.
The Gathering.
Yeah?
Emily.
We can hear Emily from the other room.
Emily,
Just laughing.
Emily in the background being like,
Gosh, I swear I'm forgetting someone, but
100%.
I don't know of another team or another group or another scene that can put a platinum event together in 7 weeks or 6 weeks, and like nearly sell it out. All the players, we got platinum points, baby. Like,
yeah,
it's one of the last platinum events of the year, if not the last, and of the season. Let's put it that way. And then actually, specifically, I do need to thank Top Deck. And I think that's probably where we'll end off this episode. I really want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Top Deck specifically for both being there for us when we have technical issues or just trying to figure out like the HTML for the website. Speaking of HTML, Demetrius Clark, thank you for doing a lot of the HTML. You're an incredible person. Not affiliated with Top Deck, but it just reminded me of that. But Top Deck is, I think, the best single resource that we have as cEDH players and tournament grinders.
Yep.
They have the best software. They have the best events.
sorry, Spice Rack.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm just like, we've tried the alternative. They're not there yet.
100%.
I don't know if they ever will be, because the rate that Top Deck is developing new features and stuff is just
it's so awesome. There's like every week or every other week, I'll get a ping to the Top Deck server and I'll be like, all right, is this invitation news or is this update news? And it's usually update news, and it's like, wow,
major features.
They're like cool and innovative features too.
Yeah, they help us run our league. Whenever we have problems in the league, we ask and say, can you help us fix this, or can you take a look into it? Did we fuck something up, or was it you? Most of the time it's us. But they I don't know if you guys know this, but like from a software development perspective, they have a unsustainable release schedule and response time. Like how quickly that they're able to address issues is otherworldly. Like I was messaging them at the event and they're responding back and saying, so we just really want to say thank you very much, and keep doing what you do. We hope to work with you again in the future. And we hope that 2025 is not the last year that Top Deck is running or heavily involved in events.
The circuit.
Yeah, the circuit. We want to see the circuit continue because we think it's like probably the best thing for players in general.
It's awesome for our format growth because it's like it's almost like a roadmap of like that players can follow and look forward to.
It's what got me into tournament grinding.
It's what drives people to come play events, right? Like his Top Deck points are real. Like we saw that with Cradle to the Guild, where that event was not really selling off well. And then it was a Top Deck event.
This is no shade to them.
Sounds great. Like everyone's in. Like let's do it.
Emily and I literally decided 2 days before the event because there's points. We're like, fuck it, let's go.
Or like even last year, Cowtown literally sold all of their tickets within like 40 minutes, and this is like a 400 player event. Like what the fuck?
I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I know that cEDH is in a weird spot in a lot of ways, but I think we are happy to be part of that growth and trying to bring it back to what it once was. So thank you to all of those of you that have helped us with this event, all of you that continue to help us support us in the channel, all of our patrons, everything like that. We just really can't say thank you enough.
Truly, thank you.
Yeah.
All that said, do we have any other events coming up?
We've got Steel City in August, which I know Eric, Austin, and I want to go to. You're a little unsure about that.
No. I want to go. For those of you that don't know, Emily's pregnant. We're very excited about that. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited about that. However, there's some timing issues. One of them is that her due date is August 31st. She'll probably be 2 weeks early or 3 weeks early. Unfortunately, that coincides directly with Steel City and the Invitational and stuff like that. I am locked in for the Invitational. I believe Jason is as well.
Yep.
That means at least one of us is going. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If I can go, great. If I can't, oh well. I'm having a fucking kid. Like,
Congrats,
life goes on.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's going to be interesting for sure. But, it's not like the end of critical EDH or anything like that. It's just,
No. It's an evolution.
Oh yeah.
We just might have some crying in the background every once in a while.
And it's Jason. It's definitely Jason. But anyway, we got Steel City coming up. Looking forward to that.
And the cookout?
The cookout, we've got a level 7 grand opening at their new location, Englewood, Colorado.
Yep.
That's July 12th.
Not exactly sure, but it is.
It's a gold event that's a 2.5K,
yeah.
and it's labeled as last chance for points. So if any of you Denverites need to get points last minute, come to the event and clear your points.
I think our event might have changed some people's outlooks. We had so many Denver people top 16. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of points from a platinum event.
Yeah,
and top 4 as well. So. If you all of a sudden find yourself in range of making the Invitational, you might want to start going to some of these events before time runs out.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that said, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for this very Mortal Kombat focused episode of Keeping Tabs.
Dude, it was such an awesome event.
Yeah. And me and Jason are going to have a video doing an actual tournament breakdown.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
I know we glanced over some of this stuff, but our top 16 was awesome. There's so many cool decks in there. So
yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.